Welcome to the Real Film Nerds Podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very special, incredible, amazing, scrumdiddly-umptious episode of the Real Film Nerds Podcast. Episode number 160. My name is Matt. I am your host. My co-host, as always, who is, again, sitting there stark naked while recording this podcast. Thank God we don't do a video pod. Mysterious Mike Talent.
Hey, everybody. I'm excited to be here. This is going to be a good podcast.
So speaking of good podcasts, Mike, what are we doing?
We're going to talk about a movie, Avengement, but we also have a little something special for you. Would you like to announce it, Matt, or do you want me to announce it?
I don't know. Go for it.
All right, so we're going to have our Poindexter Awards.
The second annual, because we just had our birthday on Valentine's Day.
We did?
And how old are we, Mike?
What are we, 2.5?
Well, 2. Because it's past the 14th now, so that's not quite half yet. We're 2 and a few days, 2 and a week. Yeah, there you go.
All right, I was just messing with you, Matt.
Here,
I know 2.
Do the math. How many weeks is that, Mike?
Because you're going to have to.
Yeah, you're going to have to do that because everybody's going to be like, oh, Mike, how old is your little Maximus? And you're not going to be able to say a year. You're going to have to go by like months or weeks.
Oh,
or
yeah,
a combination of months and weeks.
I think I'm going to try and do weeks for like the first 5 years.
Oh, perfect.
So I'm going to be like 212 weeks.
Oh, yeah, I like it, Mike. I like it. So let's see. That means I am 1,976 weeks old.
Awesome.
I'm going with that from now on. I'm going with that. I love it. That's great.
Yeah, I think everyone should be like, how old are you? And just tell them in weeks.
Oh, yeah, dude. I love it. Okay, Mike. So we're going to talk about a movie that you've thrust upon me.
Okay.
It's not a Netflix original, but it's on Netflix, and it's a British film.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
By the name of Avengement, because Avengers was already taken.
I sure, but I think it's kind of like a revenge movie, and it's like he's going to avenge.
So why not Revengement?
I don't know, man.
Oh, all right.
The British, the British tell what's an elevator and a lift, a bonnet and a trunk.
A boot?
Or a boot. Yeah, there's all these things, man. I don't know, man. They just call things different things.
The bonnet is the hood.
Yeah, sorry.
Boot is the trunk, I believe, right?
Yeah.
And then, that's one thing. I've talked about it on pods in the past, about how I have to turn on the subtitles even when I watch like British movies, just because the slang. I'm like, did he just say? Okay. So anyways, all right. So Mike, go ahead. Give us the rundown for Avengement, the Avenger.
All right. So it was directed by Jesse Johnson, written by Jesse Johnson and Stu Small. Cast is Scott Adkins, Craig Fairbrass, Thomas Torgus, Nick Moran, and so I wrote the summary of the story, Matt, so maybe you'll like it.
Did you call him Nick Moran, not Nick Moran?
Moran? I don't know.
I love your names. They're the best, Mike. All right. Let's hear this awesome description that you wrote. Is it going to be good and bloody like the film?
I hope so. So minor crime ends up turning an amateur boxer into an extremely hardened murderer. After years in prison, revenge is the top of the mind for our main character.
That was good. You didn't spoil anything. You hit all the high notes. He spent way too long in prison with people constantly trying to rape, kill, and stab him.
Yeah, but I didn't get into that. But yes.
All right, so Lord Structure of the Structure of House Earthian, what are we structuring for this one?
So the structure is thrown out for this one, Matt. We've got the Poindexter Awards we've got to get to, so we're not going to spend too much time on a lot of things on this, Matt. So I think I'm just going to ask you, did you like this movie?
It was all right. It was pretty graphic, pretty bloody. Like I said, the British slang. I liked some of it, like how it was kind of jumping around, trying to tell the story of these different aspects in different ways. It was a little predictable, but when you break it down, it was a story of a guy telling a story in a bar.
Yeah, it was.
Which I thought was pretty unique. It was an interesting way to tell the story. And then, of course, the big ending crescendo of the film is that everyone in the bar gets Avengement. They all get Avengement to death.
Yeah. So, yeah. I picked this one. I love the revenge movies, Matt. And I just thought when I watched this movie, I thought it was a pretty good movie. I'd never heard of it. And I was just like, wow, this wasn't I actually kind of expected it to be kind of bad, but it wasn't really that bad. It was pretty good acting, decent story. Maybe some of the way that the story was told could have been jumbled around a little bit to be a little bit more straightforward, but that was fine. I thought it was pretty good. I don't have very many problems with the accent for the British people, so that was fine for me. But
like I said, it's not really the accent; it's more the slang.
Oh, okay. So just like what they call different things and stuff, I don't know.
Yeah, so like the one dude that was really big that was wailing on him.
Oh, okay.
Like in the interrogation room after the cops grabbed him.
Yeah.
He kept calling him tough. And so I was like, being a tough, he's probably saying like tough guy. Like he's like a kind of like the muscle of the cops, like the black ops kind of underground. Like they called him in, but he's not really a cop, and they're just trying to get information out of him by beating the shit out of him like illegally. So that's where the slang came in for me, where I'm like, oh, okay. Now being able to read that instead of just hear that helps me a little bit, anyways.
Okay. All right. That's cool, man. And we watched this movie on Netflix. I don't know. We said that, right?
Yeah, it was. I think so. It's a Netflix film, but it's not an original. I don't think. But the only way you can watch it Netflix, here, is on Netflix, right?
Yeah.
In the U.S. So, Mike, when are you going to get therapy?
What do I need therapy?
Who did you so wrong, Mike, that you have to watch revenge films like all the time?
I just like a good revenge movie. I don't know.
If it's me, just say it.
No, it's not.
It's not me. Okay, all right, good. We're all right then. Is that like one of your categories, like on your Netflix? It's like hardcore, bloody, graphic revenge films for Mike only.
Not quite. The AI hasn't quite got me figured out, but it's getting there.
Because this has never popped up in any of my stuff, so that's why I'm just asking.
Yeah, I believe it did pop up in one of my things. So I guess I've watched a lot of revenge movies.
Well, there was even that one that you wanted to watch review a while back. This was a real while back. And it was on Amazon, and you kept saying, oh, well, I got to watch it. I'm like, dude, it's not on Amazon. It wants me to pay for it.
I still don't know how I watched that one, dude.
I have no idea.
I still don't how I watched that one because I didn't pay for it. It was like, I think it's just called Revenge.
Yeah.
And it was like a French movie. Oh, yeah. Man, it was so
about
intense.
Like a chick, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks good. I watched the trailer for it. It looks really interesting, but anywho.
It is intense movie, man. Like, I was like, yeah, it's just called Revenge, and it came out in 2017. It says you can watch it on Shudder now.
Great, another service I don't want to pay for.
Yeah.
Lovely. Well, you know what? I started watching that Cobra Kai on YouTube Premium.
Do you have YouTube Premium, or are you
No,
just doing a
that's
trial?
the thing. I watched 2 episodes of it because they give you the first 2 for free. They were giving the entire first season away a few months ago, so it's like, I should watch it while it's still free. It's no longer free, and it's really good. The first 2 episodes were really good. I'm almost to the point where I want to cancel something so I can do YouTube Premium just to watch that show. Or I could just do the trial and just do nothing but power through that show for like 48 hours. Because there's 3 seasons now, so that's a lot of watching. But I could do it. I don't need sleep. I don't sleep now.
Yeah. So, YouTube Premium, is that like what used to be called YouTube Red? Stuff's
Right.
kind of a little confusing, man.
Yeah, they changed the name.
Google, classic Google. They keep you confused, like with their messaging services and their tiered off services. Like it's like YouTube TV seems to be fairly straightforward, but YouTube Red and then their YouTube Music got intertwined. And some people, I think, subscribe to YouTube Red, but then got YouTube Music, and it's weird.
I think they're both one service now. That's why. Like the music and Red. Red was the music, or was that the show? See, I'm fucking confused.
Yeah, no, and
It doesn't matter. The music and the ad-free with their original shows are now, I think, one subscription, and the TV is separate.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's like $10 or $11 a month, but still, it's another goddamn streaming service I don't want to pay for. I pay for enough streaming services. I mean, how many do I need?
You need a lot,
God.
man. You need about $140 worth.
It's so much worse than cable now. It's so bad. So bad. All right, speaking of things that are not bad at all whatsoever, Mike, how does Avengement relate to the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Oh man, thanks for asking. So for this movie, it wasn't too hard to match up. The main character in this movie, played by Scott Adkins, his character name was Kane Burgess, and he's also Lucian or Strong Zealot in Doctor Strange.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, Mike, so should we just jump into it? I don't know how much we really need to spoil about this film. I mean, should people watch it on Netflix? I say, sure, why not? If you're into revenge movies, you're into really good action, sure, it's worth a watch.
Yeah, I would recommend this movie. I thought some of the brutal fight scenes were really well done and a little bit different, like because it was more about just really hurting people, like survival type fighting, and it was to me that was a little different. Like he was just trying to hurt people as bad as he could every time, which was
especially in the prison, man.
Yeah,
Especially
no. I mean, but that was a different. Like we're used to seeing fight movies where people are just fighting, and it's I don't know.
Well, they still had that problem though, where like they had the guy standing in the background waiting to jump in and fight, but it wasn't quite as bad.
A couple times,
other action movies.
Yeah.
All right, Mike, how many reels?
Oh man, I'm gonna give this one 4 out of 5 reels. I really like this movie. It was fun. I have an affection for revenge movies, and this one was good. This was a good one.
Well, Mike, I give it 3 out of 5 reels. It was okay.
Wow.
It was all right. It's not bad. It's not the world's best. I still think probably like one of my favorite revenge movies is Payback with Mel Gibson. That movie was just amazing.
Payback's great. I always forget the name of it. The one that has
This is bad pod, Mike.
Dang it. Hold on, Matt.
Well, talk about it. What was the movie?
Had Jamie Foxx in it and
Uh-huh.
Gerard
Tom
Butler.
Cruise? Oh, Gerard Butler.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Dang it.
It's not ringing a bell at all.
Oh, it's so good, man. It's so good.
I thought you were going to talk about that one with Tom Cruise where Jamie Foxx is the taxi cab driver. But that's not really a revenge movie. That's more of like a hunting down witness movie.
Yeah, that's more of an action. That was a Michael Mann movie, and it was good. It was intense.
I love that movie.
That one's called Collateral.
Yeah, that movie was really good.
No, it's good. I'm not saying it's not good. Just a second, man. I'm looking it up.
You need to hit your iPad faster,
I'm hitting it faster.
or your iPhone faster. Did you just do Gerard Butler and just scroll down from there?
Law-abiding citizen.
Yeah, I don't think I ever saw that.
Dude.
Your favorite revenge movie ever?
This might be one of my favorite revenge movies ever.
The ultimate revenge movie?
It's whoo, man. This one's really good. Oh, there's another one that I watched. It's an Australian movie. I think it's called Four Horsemen. Hold on. I'm gonna bad pot it up.
Jesus, Mike.
Just a second. Oh gosh.
But we all
boy.
know the best revenge movie ever made, Braveheart.
That's a good one. That's a really good one.
You don't ever kill William Wallace's, sweetheart.
Yes.
Because he
True.
starts a war
Yep.
in a skirt.
Yes, in a skirt, man.
That's what they're called, right?
Sure.
You're just trying to Google as fast as possible and agreeing with me for nothing.
Yes, I am. I am trying to.
This is going to be a long pod. It's going to be like 4 hours long.
It might be. Damn. All right, dude, I can't find it. I thought it was called Four Horsemen.
You know what the best thing is? Then you don't even have to go to sleep. You just put your clothes on and go back to work.
Oh, that is nice.
See?
Good looking out, man.
That's why I'm here. I'm here to take care of you, Michael.
Thank you.
From thousands and thousands of miles away.
Yes.
Okay, are we done talking about...
Oh, shit, I found it.
Uh-oh.
I think... Oh, no, that wasn't it.
See, now if you had Letterboxd, like I do, and log all the films I watch, I could just pull up Letterboxd and be like, oh, there it is.
You're right, man. You're right. I'm a terrible person.
Dude, I think you should go back and log all the films you've watched so far. I want to see if you watch more movies in a year than I do.
Well, shit. Can I start this year? Because it's not going to happen for next year.
That's what I'm saying. You need to start right now. Go back, try and remember what movies you've seen since January 1st.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
All right?
All right.
All right. Okay, so are we on to the second annual Poindexter Awards?
Yes, I think we are. But, Matt, before we start, there's an important thing that we need to get out of the way. What are you drinking, sir?
Oh. Well, since it is an important day and we are celebrating awards, I thought I would have a little bit of champagne. The champagne of beers.
Oh, yeah, the High Life. Miller
Everybody
High
loves
Life.
the Miller High Life.
Awesome.
Mike, where's your IPA?
All right, Matt. So, I happen to be drinking another IPA.
Shocker.
This one's... Yeah. The plot twists. Who would have seen it coming? They might as well call this an M. Night Shyamalan movie. Anyway.
Shaman Ding Dong? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm drinking a beer called Furious IPA, and it's from Surly Brewing Company. And I think they're out of, like, Ohio or somewhere far. Minneapolis and Brooklyn. Center, Minneapolis. or Minnesota.
So how should we start off? Should we start off with the bottom, and we'll say each of our picks like we did last time, and we just won't decide an overall winner, because I think that's what took forever.
Yeah, I don't know, Matt. Yeah, we can do that. You want to do that? You think that'll be a good way to go?
Because last time we did we fought for each pod, and I think that's what took forever.
Okay.
So I think if we just have our picks, that's it.
All right, let's do it.
All right. So let's start at the tippy top or the bottom, or whichever.
You want to go to the top?
The podcast awards. Yeah.
All right.
The best legacy cast movie that we watched this year. Now, remember, this is from the Poindexter Awards last year to the Poindexter Awards this year. So that is technically from Valentine's Day to Valentine's Day. There were 71 podcasts we did, so we're slacking a little bit because our last Poindexter Awards were episode 88, and we're only on 160.
Man.
So we slacked a little bit. Not too bad, but we did go back to one. All right, so Mike, let's go ahead and go with your best legacy movie, even though I see it, and you picked one from last year. But it's a good movie. It's a good movie.
All right, so Matt forgot to inform me about the parameters, and I forgot myself about the parameters. And so I wanted to put in Bomb City, which we reviewed in January 31st, 2019. But that is just one day outside of the parameters.
No, the parameters are from Poindexter Award to Poindexter Award.
Yeah, so February 14th. Anyway, so it's 15 days.
For instance, I have a word for a movie that we watched on our last podcast.
Anyway,
see,
so I wanted to do Bomb City.
It's a good movie, man.
Yeah, and so that was the one I nominated. So Matt,
refresher. What's Bomb City? Just real quick.
It's a movie about two kind of like, I wouldn't say would you say class system? I don't know. Two different ideologies.
Cliques.
Like
high school cliques.
Yeah. High school cliques who end up getting in a massive fight, and somebody ends up dying, and how the stuff is perceived in the court. And it's kind of like the court case, and it's pretty crazy to watch. Yeah, it's a hard one, but it's a really good movie.
Well, and it's interesting because I know it's a little personal for both of us because we weren't quite the same. I don't want to say class, but clique as in the film. But I would say we were definitely not the norm because we were metalheads, and the film involves punks. So it's kind of in the same vein, just not quite to our. We weren't quite to the same extreme as they were in the film. So it kind of hits home a little bit.
Yeah, it does. It does.
All right, so Mike, you want to know what my legacy movie was? Because you were going to ask before I made you talk about it.
Yes, I want to know.
I liked Wishman. I thought Wishman was awesome. I think I should have seen it in the theaters, but I didn't. So I wanted to wait for you to see it.
Yeah, no, Wishman was really good, man. That was a really good movie. I'm glad that we watched that, and it was fascinating to find out that that's kind of how the Make-A-Wish Foundation came about. Like, whoa.
Shot almost entirely in Prescott. No Frank personally. It was, I might be a little biased, but whatever. I liked it. I liked it a lot. So, all right, Mike. Next category, best tributary cast movie. You want me to go first, or you want to go first?
Yeah, you go first, man.
Well, this one came out of nowhere. I didn't know about it whatsoever until we watched it. and that was The Highwaymen. And that was about the police officers that chased down Bonnie and Clyde, starring Woody Harrelson and Kevin Costner. And I thought it was phenomenal. And everyone I have told you need to watch this, including my parents, said it is fantastic as well. So
Yeah, man, that was great. And I think Netflix, they promoted it, but I don't think they promoted it as long as they should have. Like, I feel like Netflix promotes stuff right before it comes out, and then a little bit right after, and then it moves on to its next thing because they got so much stuff coming out.
well, and I do believe Highwaymen actually had like a legit television commercial, if I remember. I remember seeing it, I think, a couple times. And
Wow,
Netflix
yeah.
doesn't do that a whole lot. So that was cool.
Yeah. So my best tributary was also another Netflix movie, and it was Polar.
That was the best, huh? Interesting.
Yeah, no, I liked it, man. I just like the lone, assassin retired guy. Like, I liked it. It was, it's not the greatest movie, but I enjoyed a lot of the parts of it. So
Yeah. Mads Mikkelsen, man, he's amazing. Love that
Yeah.
dude. He's a great actor. I love that guy. All right, so this next one is, you're definitely going first because this is your thing. This is your world. This is everything to you, Mike. What was the best Harvest Horror Fest film that we did in the month of October this year?
Oh man, so this was my first time seeing this movie, which is just a travesty. I almost should pull my film nerd card. I loved Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and that to me was like an instant classic, even though it already was a classic. But I could see why everybody liked it. I don't know. It was fun, man. It was cool. It was funny. It was amazing makeup, and like the special effects were fun. It was a good movie, man.
Are you going to buy it on Blu-ray?
I don't know if is it sold on Blu-ray?
I'm sure
if
it's
it
out
is.
there somewhere. You could find it.
Because some of the movies that I try and buy on Blu-ray haven't been converted. Some of the lesser ones, So sometimes the best way to get it is in like HD is buying it on one of the streaming like in an Amazon or an iTunes
Or Vudu or one of those, yeah.
Yeah, because they don't really have it in the premium format for sale anywhere.
All right, Mike. So mine is very similar to yours. It is a film that I should have watched many times over by now, but I did not. It was the first time I've seen it all the way through, and that was 1982's The Thing by John Carpenter.
Man, that makes me feel good that you liked it so much.
Dude, it was great. It was a lot of fun. I had seen Killer Clowns from Outer Space, but I would have picked it as well. But The Thing, I was just floored, man. It was so good. So good. All right, so the next one is a little subjective, but we didn't have too many this year, and that was our best podcast guest. And I'm pretty sure, Mike, if you don't say this person's name, you'll be sleeping outside for a while.
Yeah, so I'm a little biased on this pick, Matt, but I think she was an excellent choice, and I look forward to having her again.
Wait, hey, you're going too far. I know this is an adult, podcast, Mike, but Jesus.
Yeah, so it's Maniacal Max, and it was for the Jumanji The Next Level podcast.
All right, well, I picked Maniacal Mags as well, and I have like a guest because I got to give them a shout out because they no longer exist. And that was my boys at the Blue Milk Podcast, Dirk and Jacob, that came in for episode number 100 where we talked about fanboys. Rest in peace, Blue Milk Podcast. They're still my friends. They're not dead. Their podcast just dead. But yes.
Oh man, yeah, that sucks.
I had an absolute freaking blast bullshitting with Maniacal Mags too, though. She is a lot of fun, and we need to have her on here a lot more often, Mike. A lot more often.
All right. I'll see what I can do. I think we can figure out something.
All right. So first real big award category actor of the year. I'm going with Joaquin Phoenix from Joker.
Man, that was an award-winning, as we've seen, performance. And, Matt, I have to agree with you. That was an amazing performance. But my pick, I picked Brad Pitt. I really love Brad Pitt.
Also award-winning performance.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I thought it was amazing. I really liked it a lot.
Dude, leaps and bounds above Leonardo DiCaprio in that film. Leaps and bounds. He was phenomenal. I was floored watching the Academy Awards this year that Brad Pitt, that was his first award ever. Well, not award, first Academy Award ever for acting. I could not believe that because he is incredible. It was, Anyways, and if people are wondering, we did do these before the Academy Awards. We've just been waiting to do this podcast.
Yeah.
So the Academy Awards have no influence on anything that we did in here. All right, Mike. So actress of the year, go for it, sir.
All right. So I picked one that is maybe a little bit different, but I really liked Florence Pugh. She was in Midsummer. I really thought she did an amazing job in that movie because she has to go through so many different emotions and so much stuff in that movie. I think she did an amazing job, and so that's why I picked her.
What's interesting is she did 3 films this past year in 2019, or at least that were released. Midsummer, Fighting with My Family, and Little Women.
Fighting. Yeah. Oh,
and
yeah.
Little Women. 3 extremely different roles. The one she was nominated for, in my opinion, for the Academy Awards, was her most trivial, boring role out of the 3. I think Midsummer was probably my favorite performance of her of the year, and then Fighting with My Family, and then Little Women. Like, Fighting with My Family, like, she does not come off as Florence Pugh at all. So
that's true. I kind of forgot she was in that. Yeah, and she's like this. Yeah,
just the main character.
You're right, man.
Yeah.
She was killing it this year. Yeah. I mean, obviously the movies were filmed whenever they were filmed, but they all came out in the same year. But wow, yeah.
All right, now mine is very much like yours. It is a role that was not nominated. It was a film that was completely not nominated. It was snubbed. I almost said stubbed. Snubbed completely. And I'm giving it some love. It's shocking that both of us picked roles from a horror film, but my favorite actress of the year was Lupita Nyong'o from Us. She did 2 roles, completely different. They were amazing. She did so good. Loved her performance in Us.
Nice. Yeah, no, she did. Us was great. It was a great movie, and yeah, killed it.
All right, so next category was Best Animated Film, and I can't believe it. We didn't watch an animated film this year, Mike. Not one. At least not for the podcast.
No, we're terrible people. I don't think I watched any.
I didn't see Toy Story 4 because I haven't seen any of the Toy Stories, so it'd be a waste on me. So you know what I was thinking is we just replace this category with a new category just for this year, or maybe in the future. I don't know, but I usually don't watch these films because I just can't do them. I don't have anything against them. I just can't do them. But best musical of the year, Rocket Man.
All right, Rocket Man was great.
I really loved Rocket Man. I was kind of sad that Taron Egerton was not nominated for his role. I think that was purely political BS. He should have at minimum been nominated because what's-his-face won for his portrayal of Freddie Mercury last year, and he didn't even sing his own songs. Taron Egerton sung all of Elton John's songs, with Elton John still being alive and producing the film. Imagine that pressure, man.
Yeah.
Imagine that. All right, Mike, what's the next category?
All right, so the next category is Best Comedy. And my pick might surprise you, Matt, a little bit, but I picked Stuber.
No.
I really like that movie.
No, dude, not surprising at all. It was a lot of fun. I thought that was a great movie. It wasn't incredible, drop down amazing, but I thought it was a lot of fun. It was enjoyable. It was a lot better than I thought it was going to be, especially from David Bautista. He did great in that film because everybody was all saying, "Oh, well, he's not Drax. He can't do anything other than Drax." This proves just the opposite. He can be a comedic actor in his own right. And
yeah,
Mike, just give us a quick one on what Stuber is.
Stuber is about a Uber driver who ends up getting caught up with a little bit of a police officer, and ends up the police officer has some issues where he can't see very clearly, and he needs to have somebody drive him around, and ends up calling an Uber, and it kind of ends up being this kind of goofy comedy with the Uber driver and David Bautista's character, who's a police officer, doing things together to work on this particular case. So
yeah, it was an action comedy, and it was well done, and it was fun. And yeah,
it was fun.
David Bautista, I believe the reason why he was having problems with eyesight is he had just had LASIK done, I believe, right? And you're not really supposed to be driving or doing things important, and he had to crack this case and all this stuff. So anyways, it was fun. All right, so my favorite comedy of the year, the only reason I picked it is because it shocked the living hell out of me, was Shazam.
So it shocked you. You loved it?
I loved it, and also I was trying to spread the love because there's another movie that I wanted to throw in this category, but I was like, no, I got to spread the love a little bit. But it shocked me because it was so good. It was shocking.
Yeah.
Shazam!
Yeah. Shazam!
Yeah, it was really good. It was fantastic. Better than Birds of Prey. I want to put it at the level of Wonder Woman, and not quite at the Christopher Nolan Batmans, but out of the DCEU, after Wonder Woman and then this, I was like, oh man, they're doing great. And then Birds of Prey came out, and I was like, it was good, but not quite at these levels. So
no, Shazam was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I've my nephews and stuff, I'm like, no, you need to watch it. Like, Michael's adamantly against it because he's a Marvel guy like me. I was like, no, dude, you got to watch Shazam, and he liked it. He enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's they did a really good job with it. Like, every once in a while, so I don't know what's going on over there in DC world, but I don't think they have a Kevin Feige or whatever who oversees things and is like, no, that's dumb. Don't do that. Like, I feel like they don't have like a puppet master.
Yeah, they need someone like that. They need someone like Kevin Feige. Even if it's someone that's not great at it, at least trying to keep some continuity and style and things. Because, I mean, just take a look. Wonder Woman, Shazam, Birds of Prey, DCEU, they all look completely different. They all come off completely different. They're all decent in their own right, but they're all different. And then we got Wonder Woman 1984 coming out.
Yeah,
and that looks really good.
Yeah, when we had Aquaman.
Yeah, I completely forgot about Aquaman. That was a really good movie.
No, we had Aquaman is great, but then we had the what was it called where they were all together?
Oh God, Justice League.
Justice League, and that was
it was so bad. It was so bad.
Like so it's like they jostle around. Like, sometimes it's okay, sometimes it's bad. Like, but Marvel's pretty much kept it consistent, man.
Right. And I think one of the failures of Justice League was the really bad villain. Their choice in villain, they picked someone nobody knew. Unless you were a DC comic book nerd, nobody knew who the hell it was. Everybody knows who Lex Luthor was, you know? Everybody knows who Doomsday was. But the dude they picked? No. All right. Next category, Mike, is one that's near and dear to my heart. Always. Yeah. It's probably, I would guess, probably my favorite genre. I like comedies, I like dramas, and I like war movies, but I do love my sci-fi. Best sci-fi film. Mike, are you serious?
Yeah, no, man. No, I need you to go on this one first.
Mike, are you serious? Fine.
Yeah.
I had to do it. Even though it's not my favorite one. I picked Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, and Alita Battle Angel. I freaking loved Alita Battle Angel. I think I liked it more than Star Wars, but I got to get my Star Wars in there, you know? I just got to.
All right. So, Matt, I picked a movie that is probably going to infuriate you to no end. It is Terminator Dark Fate. I really like Terminator Dark Fate. I thought it was great.
Dude, you're high. You're high as a giraffe's ass. Terminator Dark Fate was trash.
No, I loved it. It was awesome.
No. Hey, do you think we're going to get an Alita Battle Angel sequel? There's all kinds of people pushing hard. They even got like a sign writer to fly over the Academy Awards to try and get a sequel. Did you see that story?
No. That would be cool. You know, the Alita was really good. And I know they spent a lot of time on it and stuff, and it was really good, but it just didn't do well. I don't know, man. It fascinates me why sometimes these sci-fi movies do great, and other times they're just destroyed.
Yeah. I thought Alita was awesome.
So, like, I don't know, like, I can't think of an example. The movie that had the woman who was, like, making first contact with aliens.
Contact?
Do you know? No.
With
It
Jodie
was like-
Foster?
No. It was the one where, like,
Oh,
they were the big creatures.
Annihilation?
No.
Annihilation was fucking amazing.
Well,
no. I know what you're talking about. Arrival.
Arrival.
Yeah. See, another A one. But they both were really good. Arrival and Annihilation.
That movie killed it in the box office, and I couldn't tell you why. Like, it was awesome. I mean, it was a great movie.
I liked
But
Annihilation better.
But then, different movies come out and they don't do very well, and I don't know, man. It's hard, I think, to make it out there with the original sci-fi movies. But I loved The Arrival, and then I liked Annihilation as well. It was good too.
I liked Annihilation a lot, and that movie went straight to Netflix for most of the world except for the U.S., and it didn't do well in the U.S. I think it was just too far out there for people. But that's some of the sci-fi I really like Ex Machina. I loved Ex Machina.
Oh, yeah, no, that was really good.
And that's another one that didn't do great either, you know?
No, it didn't do too great.
All right, Mike. Next is your category.
All right, so, one of my favorite things, very near and dear to my heart, horror movie. Best horror movie. So I kind of got a little bit of a different one. Brightburn, which is kind of a combination, kind of a mashup of a horror movie and comic. And I really liked it, man. It was really good. It was well done. It's creepy as hell.
Dude, same thing. I have Brightburn as one of mine. I put 3 down because I was going to try and narrow it down, but I'll just say the 3 that I picked. I think I would probably put Brightburn as my number 1, maybe Us, but I really liked Brightburn, Midsummer, and Us. Midsummer, I'm kind of like going back on because it was way, way, way out there, man. Way out there for me as a movie, but I know you really enjoyed it, and I liked Hereditary a lot. I thought Hereditary was cool till the end, but
oh yeah.
If I had to pick one, I'd say Brightburn as well, because it was just so unique, dude, and it was done so well. And they are talking sequel.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
So we'll see if we actually get it, but they're talking it. So, all right, man. Next is a category that is near and dear to both of our hearts, and that is Best Action Movie. Did you just change it? You just changed it. Because I was going to let you have it again. I was like, two nominations, Mike.
No. Well, I screwed up on the parameters, Matt. So I got my favorite action.
Okay,
movie
all right. Go ahead, Mike. Is it a bad movie?
All right. So the next category, as Matt alluded to, was the best action movie, and You know what? I picked Bad Boys for Life because that was so much fun. I feel like that was such a summer movie, in January or early February, right? Early February.
No, it was January, I think.
Was it January?
Yeah, I think it was
I don't
January.
know, man. I get confused on the dates, but
Doesn't matter. It was this year. It was a few
Yeah.
weeks ago. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I liked Bad Boys for Life too. It was a lot of fun. No, for those of you who are wondering what I was talking about, and I alluded to bad, it was Boys for Life, but he had Terminator Dark Fate down again. I can't believe you. Jesus, Mike. God, if it was Terminator 2, yes, all day long. Not Dark Fate. The movie was trash.
I liked it.
I don't know how you didn't pick my favorite action movie of the year, and that was John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum.
No, that was a great movie, Matt. Absolutely awesome. I don't know how I didn't pick it.
Hey, it's all good, man. I almost did one of our upcoming categories for this as well. But that upcoming category is our bread and butter, our favorite MCU movie of the year. Oh, and look at that. We picked the exact same one. That's pretty amazing.
Well, I mean, when you get down to it, man, that's a really good one.
Dude, it is. It is. And I seriously almost picked it for best action movie, but I was like, no, I gotta I'm trying to be nice and spread the love around, And we both picked Avengers Endgame.
Yes, the Endgame, man, it was... we've been building up for this for so long. It was 21 movies or whatever. It was really awesome to see it come to an end, even though maybe there were some things that were a little bit questionable how they were fulfilled. It was still awesome to just see this all wrap up, and I'm super excited for the next phase or whatever in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yep, I believe it's Phase 4, right? I still haven't looked it up. I think it's Phase 4.
I think it's Phase 4,
Yeah.
and we what is it? Black Widow's
the first
soon.
one, and then it's going to be Eternals. I believe is the other one for this year, but they're mostly pushing the TV shows, which I am crazy excited for. One of them in particular, WandaVision.
What's
man.
that one?
WandaVision.
Oh.
I am so stoked for that. If they go after Tom King's run on the Vision and follow that even loosely, that storyline, we're in for a hell of a show. It's going to be a
Awesome.
blast. Really, it really is. It's going to be more adult oriented. I mean, probably more teenage oriented, but it's going to be cool.
All right.
So,
awesome.
All right, Mike, here is a wonderful, amazing category, and I'm a terrible person, so I get to do this one. Our worst movie of the year.
Yeah, dude, Matt, dig in.
I should have put Terminator Dark Fate just to piss you off.
No, you have your opinion. That's fine. Whatever.
Yeah, they're like assholes. Everybody has one, right?
Yeah.
Maybe two. Okay, so
You might have to.
Dude, this movie was just so bad, man. It was so bad. I don't even know how many reels I gave it. And whatever I gave it, it was probably too many. But was Men in Black International. I'm sorry, but it was so bad. And I think a lot of that was because Chris Hemsworth and the lead actress, what's her name?
From
Tessa
MCU.
Thompson? Yeah. Tessa Thompson. They hired their own writers. Did you know that? I had no idea about that. So that's why their dialogue was so shitty. Anyways.
Weird.
I really wanted a fun movie like Bad Boys for Life. If we would have gotten something fun like that, I would not have, but we didn't. It was just garbage. It was so bad. All right, Mike, what was your worst movie of the year?
All right, for me, it was the Godzilla King of the Monsters, because I know you're supposed to just love the monster fighting stuff, but I could not get into it, man. I just couldn't do it. I didn't like it.
Literally, the only thing it had going for it was the monsters fighting. I
just didn't. I didn't like it. I didn't like any of it. So I was like, damn. The last Godzilla movie was actually all right.
Yeah, it was really good.
Barely had Bryan Cranston in it. Yeah, that one was good. But this one, I was like, what the hell was that?
Yeah, it was not good either. Yeah, Bryan Cranston was in it for like 5 minutes, but yeah, he was in like every single second of the trailer.
Yes.
What was that all about? Maybe he voiced Godzilla.
I don't know, but you're right.
All right, roll, Mike. Here, the big one. Best movie of the year. The equivalent of our, best picture. I think the Academy should have picked this as well, even though I love that Parasite won. I love that it won. I still think this movie was better, and I see you picked it as well. Sam Mendes' 1917.
Man, I love this movie. I saw this movie in a screening in like this gorgeous, perfect way you should see a movie. No one was allowed to have their phones. No one, we saw it in an Atmos theater. It was amazing.
Hashtag jealous.
It was just... So, I think the experience partly was what I liked, and I had no idea going into this movie that it was like a one-shot thing.
Neither did I. Nope.
No one had told me, nothing had, so when I went and saw it, it was such a surprise and so awesome to see. I was just blown away, because there was parts where I was looking, I turned to people next to me. I'm like, how the hell did they do that? And then I just kept watching. So I loved it.
It was an incredible film. I remember watching it on a snowy evening all by myself because it was snowing and nobody wanted to go to the late show at the movie theater opening night. It was awesome. I'm jealous that it wasn't Dolby Atmos, but maybe eventually Prescott will get that in the year 2050. But yes, 1917 is a technical achievement. It is an acting achievement. The cinematography was incredible. The sets were great. One thing I wasn't a huge fan of was the how it won for special effects. They're not bad. They're good, but I don't think it was the best special effects of the year. I think that should have been Endgame, for the Academy Awards. See, I keep talking Academy Awards.
No, Endgame probably should have got it.
Yeah, because that was incredible. Or Rise of Skywalker, man. I watched the reels. For those of you who do not know, my lovely girlfriend that I like very, very much, has a family member that has special access to some Academy Award things. So I was able to see the 2 and 3 minute and 10-minute reels that they present to the Academy of the special effects and stuff. And it was insane, the stuff they did for Endgame and they did for Rise of Skywalker. I mean, insane. So anyways. All right, Mike. Well, we have 2 more in the overall categories that will hold till the end. We'll get to our individual awards. These hopefully will go fast. So far, we're doing pretty good. I think we're doing all right. It's going a little long, but not too bad.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite categories ever. Best sandwich in a movie. And I know I picked the one you wanted, but it is definitely the best sandwich in a movie of this year. We even talked about it in the podcast. I picked the egg sandwich from Birds of Prey.
Yes, I saw, man, and I was jealous because it sent me on a quest to figure out where someone else was eating. Because, it turns out that a lot of times people really aren't eating in movies.
No,
did you notice that?
Nope, not really.
Never, not really eating. Mm-mm. And if they are, it's like a dinner, and you don't it's undescript, and you don't really know what they're eating. It's kind of a, but. So I actually found something kind of cool, and it's not quite a sandwich, Matt. I think we're going to have to bend it a little bit.
Well, you remember last year, mine wasn't quite a sandwich, but I still rolled with it.
Yeah, so this is from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, when Brad Pitt, towards the end of the movie, is on some drugs, and he's going to feed his dog. He opens a can of dog food, and then he licks the food.
Oh, God. Oh yeah, I remember that.
And in this, the name of the dog food is Wolf's Tooth, and it has a quote: "Good food for mean days."
Yeah, dude, I'll let it slide because that shit was hilarious.
And then, then some other things ensue. But Matt, I just thought that was cool, so I threw that in there. I know it's not really a sandwich. There's a little bit of not even really eating, but tasting.
Dude, it's pretty gross. I'll let it slide, Mike. I'll let it slide for sure because that was good. But I know you wanted to pick the egg sandwich just because, I mean, we talked about it. That shit, oh man, that still makes me hungry thinking about it right now. All right, here's a category that I kind of had a hard time with trying to figure it out because you picked the one that I was going to do and I wanted to do a different one. So, Mike, go ahead.
All right. So this one was a little bit tough. Normally, there's a kind of a stereotypical nerd in a movie, and we want to highlight this nerd. And when I was overlooking all the movies, I couldn't really think of any like real big nerd character. But the biggest one I could think of was Dr. Dyson Ido, who's played by Christopher Waltz in Alita Battle Angel.
Yeah.
He was pretty nerdy, you know, like, because he like restored robots and stuff. And so I picked him.
Dude,
So.
no, perfect. That's a perfect one. And, you know, I could have gone with a cop-out, but I tried not to because it'd be really easy to be like Tony Stark or the Hulk, you know, or one of those. And it's like, nah, man, that's MCU. Yes, they're nerds, but no. I had to toy with my brain a little bit because I was thinking Dr. Ido as well because Christoph Waltz is amazing. But I think you'll like my choice, Mike. It is Stu Prasad, played by Camille Nanjiani in Stuber. I think he was pretty freaking nerdy because he was an Uber driver that was bending over backwards for everyone. He was dating a girl that had no interest in him, and he kept trying to get back with her and all this stuff. I mean, I don't know if you can get too much more nerdy than that. And I loved Camille Nanjiani in that film. So,
Yeah, no, he played a great character. He was also a great character in Men in Black International. Even though that movie was terrible, he played the little alien guy, and he was good.
yeah, it was pretty much the only redeeming part of that movie. Yeah. Okay, Mike. Again, well, you know what? No, this category is mine. I was jumping ahead. This one's mine. My favorite villain of the past year. There's so many.
Do it.
So many to pick from, but I dipped into the MCU, Mike, just because I loved seeing him on screen. And I loved how they did him because I had no idea how they were going to actually implement this character. I really loved Jake Gyllenhaal's portrayal of Mysterio in Spider-Man. What was it called? International?
Far From Home.
Yeah.
Far From Home.
Yeah. I just loved that character. Mike,
Nice.
I know it's hard for you to pick evil things, but who is your favorite villain this year?
I picked a different one. I picked the actual. He was played by Zac Efron, but I picked the character Ted Bundy from the Netflix movie Extremely Wicked, Shockingly Evil, and Vile.
Wow, man, not a character, real life person. That's intense, dude. Intense, but that is a very, very good pick, Mike. Very good pick.
Yeah, I thought Zac Efron, man, he did a great job. Like, I don't know if he's ever going to get acknowledged for this, but man, he did a wonderful job. He's actually impressed me with some of his last few movies. He seems to be getting more serious type roles. I actually loved him in Baywatch, even though that movie was terrible. I loved how terrible it was. It was awesome.
It was pretty terrible. I watched it when it was on Hulu. Oh, dude, that movie was rough. But it's one of those ones that's so bad it's good kind of thing. So it was entertaining. All right, Mike, I know this next one. Much like mine is favorite villain, this category is all yours, brother. All yours.
All right, so, I'm always asking Matt what he's drinking, and he's always asking me what I'm drinking, and so this is our favorite podcasting beers. And, I chose the Founder's Breakfast Stout, because, when you just have a rough morning, you just drink one of these, and everything's okay.
It's a good breakfast beer. It goes great with cereal and eggs and bacon.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, definitely.
Mm-hmm. You could pour the beer in your cereal. Captain Crunch
Yeah.
and Founder's Breakfast Stout. That sounds delightful.
I think we know a certain person that poured some beer in their cereal way back in the day when we were in high school.
I have no idea who you're talking about, Mike. None
No?
whatsoever. No, sir.
All right.
Move along.
All right. Moving along. Matt, what was your favorite podcasting
Well,
beer?
I will just put Four Peaks Kilt Lifter like all day long, but that's what I put last year, so I can't do that. So I have to expand. So I went with Barrio's Tucson Blonde Ale.
Excellent.
Yeah, dude, you gotta, if you can ever get a hold of some, you gotta give it a shot because it's a local brewery here and it is delightful. All right, so again, another one of my favorite categories. Love it. And I notice you have a lot more selection than I do. Mike, I'm proud of you. Very proud of you. You are
Thank you,
getting
Matt.
darker and darker by the day. No, you're not. You're not dark at all. Biggest disappointment of the year. And it's one of Mike's favorite movies all year. Terminator Dark Fate. That movie could have been good and it was trash.
Oh, Matt, it hurts me that that's your biggest disappointment, Matt, when there's all these other movies that were super disappointing. Let me read you some. So, Midsummer, which is I wanted to like it. I really, really wanted to like it, and it just wasn't what I was expecting.
Honestly, I'm shocked by you picking that. I really am. I figured you would have really liked that movie.
And then Glass.
Yeah, I understand that one.
The Glass,
Yeah.
the sequel that kind of we didn't really ask for, and then it didn't really deliver. And then MIB International, of course, the Men in Black International. It was just garbage.
It was, man. It was awful. All right, this next one is a great category too, though, Mike. Go ahead.
All right, so this is the biggest surprise of the year. So this is the movies that we didn't really expect anything out of. And for me, I chose The Best of Enemies. This was Sam Rockwell and oh man, I'm gonna forget her name now. I'm gonna screw it up.
Yeah, go to the IMDb's quick.
Yeah,
Quick to the internet.
I know. Tyra P. Henson. The movie was great. It was entertaining. I mean, it's exactly kind of what you expect, but it was well done, and I like that. I thought it was pretty cool.
It was a sleeper that didn't get any traction. It didn't get anything, man. It didn't get any nominations for anything, nothing. But it was a decent film. I enjoyed it. I thought it was good.
Yeah, no, it was a good movie.
All right, mine, I would have nominated for a couple other categories, but I really wanted it for this because I really just was shocked. That was Ready or Not. I really love that movie. It came out of nowhere.
Ready or Not was great, Matt, and I would have put that, but I didn't want to use the same thing. And I was like, that was creative, and the ending was like, woo, mind blown. Like, wow.
Yeah, where the hell did it come from? I mean, it was funny. It was dark. It was a horror movie. I loved it. I thought it was great.
Yeah, that one was definitely unexpected, and it was great.
All right. Best movie we didn't review. I'm kind of shocked we didn't review this, but I know it was tough. It wasn't in the theaters here very long. I don't know how it was over there, but I'm sure it was difficult to catch over there. Now you could probably see it since you can see
Probably
Parasite.
now.
Yeah, since you can see Parasite everywhere now. But my pick for a movie we didn't get to review was Jojo Rabbit. I really liked that movie. It was very good.
Yeah, I'm very disappointed that I didn't get to see it in the theaters. I mean, at least yet. Maybe I can catch it now. But
Well, you can rent it now. It's out on Vudu and all those now.
yeah, it was tricky, man. It was real tricky to get to it, and some of these limited release ones, and until they win awards, they just don't hang out long.
Well, and they had a lot of controversy surrounding this one, and some movie houses just flat out didn't want to put it in there because they make fun of Hitler blatantly.
Yeah.
And it
That's
rubbed
it.
a lot of people the wrong way. So, all right, Mike, what's yours?
So the one that I nominated for this is Bombshells. I like this movie. It was different. I wish we would have reviewed it, but it's hard to get in all these movies, man. We see a ton of movies. In fact, Matt, how many movies did you see last year? You sent me a text.
It was 133, I think. I'd have to go look it up
Lord.
real quick.
Good Lord. Yeah, I don't track it as heavy as Matt, but I need to.
It's
I
not
need to
difficult to do, man. It's not difficult to do. You just pull up the app, you rate it, and you just do your thing. And, in there, it's stars. It's not in the Letterboxd app, it's stars. It's not reels, obviously. We'll have to work on that with that. But it's the same thing. It's on a 5, and they have a half scale. So I just pull it up like right after I see something, maybe even before I get out of my seat at the theater, or if I'm watching it at home, and I just log it, and it lets you mark if you've seen it before or not. And
wow, all right, cool.
I was trying to see if I had it here real quick, but I don't know. I don't think I. Oh, there we go. I watched 133 films in 2019.
Whew. How many have you watched so far this year? Does it
I don't
break
know.
that
I
down
haven't
yet, or
looked.
no?
I'd have to go dig into the website and look. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so I have not seen Bombshells yet. I will probably see it eventually, probably on Vudu or Netflix or something like that. Mike, we only have 4 more categories to go. We're almost done. And these next ones are quick. That's what she said.
Yeah. All right, Matt. So this next one's the worst podcast. What I picked for this one was The Man Who Killed Hitler and Then Bigfoot.
Now, is that because the movie was bad, or is that because our podcast was bad? Because it should be because our podcast was bad.
I think it was because our podcast was bad. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I don't remember if it was bad or not. Was it? It probably was pretty bad because I was disappointed with that movie. Oh, was that the one where you fell asleep in the middle of it?
Maybe.
I should have picked that for the best podcast. Oh well. I picked episode 107, Legacy Cast of Cloud Atlas, because I did it all by myself, and I tried not to ramble on too long, and I clearly did. I think I did almost a full 45 minutes by myself. That's pretty fucking ridiculous.
It's pretty awesome.
All right, Mike, next one. We both came to a conclusion on this one. We both picked it. I had so much fun recording this podcast. I just really did. And again, she needs to come back on sooner rather than later.
I know. We need to get her on because, I think it'll help our numbers.
Our best podcast of the year for both of us was episode 150, Jumanji: The Next Level, with special guest Maniacal Mags. Just so much fun, dude. I had so much fun on that podcast. I think that's the most I've laughed in a long time.
Yeah. That was great.
All right, so we didn't get a whole lot of votes or replies. We got a handful, but there's a consensus, and I kind of, for listener movie of the year and listener podcast of the year, the 2 votes we got agreed on the podcast of the year, which was Rise of Skywalker. And okay, we'll go with it. All
right. So is this all the Blue Milk guys?
It was the Blue Milk guys. Yeah, it was the Blue Milk guys, and it was Steve. So, real film nerd super fan Steve Stockmar, who literally listens to this podcast at almost probably 30 minutes after we put it out every week. He loves our hooliganism. So
awesome.
I don't know if that's a word, but I'm using it.
Yeah, I think it's a word.
All right. And our listener movie of the year, I didn't do like a poll and have everybody shared or anything. I just said write in, email us, comment, whatever. We got 2, so I'm just going to leave them. Rise of Skywalker and Joker.
Cool.
Fair enough. They don't like 1917. Obviously, they don't care about really good movies. All right, Mike.
Hey, Joker's really
Joker
good.
was really good. Rise of Skywalker was okay. It's not my favorite of the new movies, but it's definitely not the worst one. Not by a long shot. So,
Yeah, I mean, you've seen episode 1.
damn. I was talking about the current run. I was talking more like Last Jedi.
I just watched episode 1, Matt. Oh, God, it's
I
terrible.
know, it's so bad. The best part of it is Darth Maul. Darth Maul is amazeballs. He's still my favorite. I love Darth Maul.
that is the only redeeming part of it.
That whole lightsaber battles, with him, Qui-Gon, and Obi-Wan. Love me some Darth Maul, man. Love it.
It was so hard to watch Jar Jar, man. Like, I remember making fun of him, but I just watched it again and I was like, Jesus, it's so terrible.
Dude, and that poor dude, man. That poor dude that played him. He literally almost threw himself off a bridge. Literally.
Oh, man.
Because when he was literally standing on the side of the bridge getting ready to jump, he started realizing that, and coming to the conclusion it took years of therapy and all kinds of things, but that they didn't hate him. Nobody hated him. Nobody ever hated him. It was the character of Jar Jar, but he still, to this day, has issues with that. Poor man.
Man, that's rough, man. That's rough.
All right, Mike, so what are we going to talk about for next week? Because there ain't shit coming out in the theaters, especially stuff that I don't want to see.
So man, we talked about what we're going to talk about.
Did we?
And yeah,
We talked about
we
talked about that we're going to watch a Netflix movie?
Yeah, we talked about we're going to watch a Netflix movie, and it's called
No,
Game
that
Over,
was
man.
before we started recording.
Yeah.
Oh,
before we started recording.
Okay, I was gonna say our listeners don't know.
I'm just acknowledging that we talked before.
Okay.
And for our next episode, we're gonna do a Netflix movie. It's called Game Over, Man, and apparently it's a parody of Die Hard that we are probably gonna love a lot, but maybe other people will be like, "You guys are crazy."
I know for a fact you're gonna love it. Just on the sheer amount of flaccid penis.
Ooh, man. You're talking like Game of Thrones season 1?
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
Oh, nice.
I don't know. I haven't watched it yet. I've just heard. But yeah, we've talked about this on the pod before. It's been a little while. But I wanted to do it have us watch it and then watch one of the diehards right after. But hey, right now's the time. We need to, grab it while we can.
Yep, let's do it, man. Let's grab it while we can.
Well, I hope everybody enjoyed our second annual Poindexter Awards. I had fun. Mike, did you have fun?
Yeah, no, it was fun. It was fun just reminiscing about the movies of the year, and some of the ones were kind of hard to figure out some of the things, like Sandwich. That was challenging, man.
Honestly, I jumped on it the instant we watched Birds of Prey. I was like, when they started showing it and they were shooting it really perfect and he was cooking it, I was like, that's my sandwich. That's my sandwich right there.
Interesting fact about that sandwich scene, Matt. Did you know that is a duck egg and not a chicken egg? Because no, now I'm forgetting her name, is allergic to
Margot Robbie?
Chicken eggs. Yeah, Margot Robbie is allergic to chicken eggs.
Interesting.
So they did duck eggs for that sandwich.
I would think it would fall into the same vein though, because it's still kind of poultry, right? Because it's a bird.
There's some, I don't remember what.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Who knows why
yeah.
she's yeah.
That's interesting. I didn't know that. Have you made one yet? I mean, they show you how to make it in the whole thing.
No, I haven't made one yet. No,
I'll get there eventually. I don't like my eggs like that though. I like scrambled. I've never liked the runny yolk. I think that's ugh.
Oh, I love it, man. No, I know. Maggie doesn't like it.
No, I gotta have that shit scrambled up, buddy. Scrambled up.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. She can't handle it. Yeah, she doesn't I'll eat over easy eggs all day.
No, I don't. And I don't even think it's a flavor thing. I think it's a texture thing. It's just too runny. It's just.
Yeah. Oh, I just like it. It explodes in your mouth. Oh, it's so good.
Oh, Jesus, Mike.
Oh, sorry. Is that what? She said,
Don't do that.
"Oh no!" She said,
That's the
"Oh my
last thing
god!"
She said. Oh no! I'm glad I marked this podcast explicit. Mike's still laughing. He's just nowhere near the mic, so I don't care. I laugh into it.
Yeah, no, I was laughing. It's
That was good. That was real good. All right.
All right, man.
Let
So
me do this real quick. Radio interviews coming on after this. It is not about this movie. It is not about our awards. I went and saw Sonic the other day with my beautiful girlfriend, Stacy, and it was a wonderful, wonderful family film. I enjoyed it. Take a listen. If you want to know the reels, I gave it 3 out of 5. It's fun. It's nothing spectacular. It's nothing special, but I had a lot of fun. It was entertaining. So there you go, Mike, your turn.
okay. Well, I guess with all that, thanks for listening, and I'm sorry I didn't see Sonic. All right, catch us on our next pod.
Thank you for listening to The Real Film Nerds. Now, don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Real Film Nerds. Now, go out and catch a movie.
Matt Hinshaw from the Real Film Nerds podcast in studio with me now on Magic 99.1. How you doing there, Maddie?
I'm awake.
You
that
are
should count,
awake.
right?
Yeah, you know what, buddy? Try getting up at 4 a.m. like me.
No, because I go to bed at like 2.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Do you really?
On average, yeah, I'm around 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning.
Are you kidding
yeah.
me? What are you doing till 2? Watching movies?
Working, usually
Working
doing
and-
stuff. Yeah.
yeah.
Sometimes watching movies.
Editing film and all that stuff?
Yeah, editing my stills.
Yeah.
For various organizations.
Right. That makes more sense than
Yep.
watching movies. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so speaking of movies, you're here to talk about them. What'd you see?
I saw Sonic the Hedgehog.
Now, what is Sonic the Hedgehog? I mean, I really like hedgehogs. Is it about a real hedgehog?
Well, it's from the video game. Are you kidding me? You don't know Sonic the Hedgehog from the Sega Genesis?
No. What's Sega Genesis? I'm kidding. I know that's a
I'm
video
out.
game.
Have a good day. Yeah, it's a take on, Sonic the Hedgehog, the video game. It is
Cute.
starring Ben Schwartz as the voice of Sonic,
Yeah.
James Marsden, and Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik.
Aw, and how was it?
I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. I understand why it's the top of the box office right now.
Okay, do tell.
It is not an incredible film. It's not going to win any awards, but it is fun, and it is fun for the whole family. I had a blast, but again, I am disclosing my age. I was in my 30s, so
Yeah.
I grew up with Sonic and Sega Genesis and Nintendo and all those things.
Right.
And there's a lot of call-outs to that hidden in throughout the movie.
Okay.
A couple things I didn't like. There's like some sponsorship stuff in there, and it is blatant. It is not like they don't dance around it at all. That was a
No.
little obscene.
Yeah.
The story's good. The acting was good. It's very funny at times. It's a good, fun film for all ages, if you ask me.
Is it animated?
No. Yes, no. So, I
Yes
mean,
and no.
Sonic is animated. He's a
Okay.
CGI character. I'm sure, Jim Carrey and his different robots and things that he's using are animated. But for the most part, it's just a straight up regular film with the animation tossed in.
Okay, very good. How many reels you going to give it?
I give it 3.5.
3.5. Okay, you
Yeah.
enjoyed it, but it's not a must-see.
No, it is not a must see in the theaters. If you're bored and you want to get the kids and go watch a movie and just get out of the house, there's not a whole lot else out there right now.
Yeah.
I did Birds of Prey last week or 2 weeks ago. I don't remember. Whenever it came out, it's okay. I would probably see this over Birds of Prey, especially if you're taking the family.
Okay.
Or a nice date night, because it's just fun.
Okay, very good. What's coming out this week?
I
Anything
don't know.
to mention?
I don't know. I
You don't
didn't
know
look.
yet. Okay.
I didn't look.
All right,
I
well,
should have.
We'll find out what you see next weekend, next Monday.
Next Monday. I'll be
Next
back on Monday.
All right, Matt. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks, Lisa.
You're welcome.